why Telugu movies are like this.
तेलुगु ब्लॉकबस्टर अर्जुन रेड्डी का ये सीन देखिए.
I'm already
आपको
angry.
लगेगा कि ये सीन थोड़ा डिस्टर्बिंग है.
Yeah. The what? I don't know. Yeah. What? Oh, Kabir Singh. So it's based on Kabir Singh. So it's so it's a remake. Kabir Singh was a remake.
तो
Got it.
बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक भी थोड़ा डिस्टर्बिंग होगा, पर नहीं. इस सीन में जो मैक्सिकन गाना बज रहा है वो मानो ऐसा इमोशन देता है कि हम इस थप्पड़ को सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं. ये म्यूजिक ये दर्शाने की कोशिश करता है कि अर्जुन एक बहुत बड़ा हीरो है इस चीज को करने के लिए. और ऐसे सीन्स बहुत आम बात हो गए तेलुगु सिनेमा में. इसको टॉलीवुड भी कहा जाता है. फिर इस सीन को भी देखिए तेलुगु मूवी पुष्पा से. ये सीन ऑलमोस्ट बताने की कोशिश कर रहा है कि महिलाओं को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए जब उनका पार्टनर उनकी अनुमति के बिना उनको टच करे. और एक्चुअली महिलाएं ये चीज एंजॉय करती है. अब
Yeah. Again, I can understand, like, there's a lot of things in... I mentioned this the last time I watched one. I feel like I'm rehashing the same thing I saw yesterday. I really do. Like, I feel like I'm rehashing the same thing. Because in the end, there are always things in cinema where I catch it. Like, yes, he caught the music. It's like, yeah, it's a very upbeat song. Very upbeat, and you included it in that scene. Like in Kabir Singh, I knew he was the anti-hero. I knew he wasn't a main character. I knew he was the bad guy of the story. But for some reason, people don't seem to understand that. And when you include like the music and everything, it gives the wrong message. It sends the wrong tone, and it just creates the wrong kind of environment. I'm all for, and I'm not a fan of that kind of subliminal messaging towards children, especially because young adults, they can normally see it and be like, oh, I wouldn't ever do anything like this. But children will see something like that and be influenced by something like that and be like, oh, this is how a man's supposed to be.
ऐसा नहीं कि ऐसे सीन्स हमें बस टॉलीवुड में देखने को मिलते हैं. बॉलीवुड में भी कई सालों से हमें ऐसे सीन देखने को मिल रहे हैं. पर एक रिसर्च ने दिखाया कि 1950 और 2020 के बीच बॉलीवुड मूवीज महिलाओं के लिए अब थोड़ी बेहतर हो गई हैं.
So slap then. Just a slap. पर नहीं मार सकता.
पर ये कहना तेलुगु इंडस्ट्री के लिए थोड़ा मुश्किल है. तो टॉलीवुड में प्रॉब्लम्स क्या हैं और क्यों हैं, इसी के बारे में मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ इस वीडियो में. तेलुगु इंडस्ट्री में मेनली दो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. पहली प्रॉब्लम है टॉक्सिक हीरोज की.
It's funny because this is like the counterpoint to that video from yesterday. Yesterday, it was about how Bollywood movies are bad. This one's about how Tollywood movies are primarily imploring like a sexist violence and glorifying the male over the female. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having like again, who would watch Gone Girl and think the girl is the hero? You watch that film and know everybody is a bad guy. Everybody is a bad guy. Everybody is a bad guy. She is not a hero. She's a bad guy. My wife keeps saying she's the hero. She's a bad guy. Everybody in that film is bad. That film is based on bad people, just like Kabir Singh. They're all bad people. Even the girlfriend he's with is a bad person. There are so many stories which have just bad people. You're supposed to watch them. And I think that's why you've seen too many Indian films that you couldn't tell that she was the bad guy in the story. Just like Ben Affleck was a bad guy in that story. Yes, exactly. Her husband cheated, and then she got revenge by doing something, by utilizing the justice system to get her revenge, to enact her revenge. It was criminal, absolutely criminal. Many women think Rosemud Pike was the hero in that movie. Yeah, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. In Telugu movies, there are bad ones and good ones. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yesterday I watched the video. I think it was yesterday or the other day. I watched the video of like how Telugu movies are great and Bollywood's bad, and now we're watching where Telugu movies are bad and Bollywood's a little better.
अब इसका मतलब है क्या? इसका मतलब है कि कई कमर्शियल तेलुगु मूवीज में हीरोज का व्यवहार बहुत टॉक्सिक है. हरासमेंट, अब्यूज
లాబీలోనే పాతేస్తాం.
और स्टॉकिंग।
నడుము ఎక్కడ చేయించిందిరా బాబు ఇన్సాన్గా ఉంది
ये सारी चीजें नॉर्मलाइज कर दी गई हैं। जैसे अर्जुन रेड्डी में मेन किरदार अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड को थप्पड़ ही नहीं मारता, बल्कि एक महिलाओं को धमकी भी देता है एक चाकू के साथ, जब वो लड़की उसके साथ सेक्स करने के लिए मना कर देती है। और ये सीन ऐसे नहीं दिखाया जाता जैसे इस सीन में कोई प्रॉब्लम है, बल्कि ये कोई मजाक की सिचुएशन है।
Open the door, click.
जब मूवी डायरेक्टर्स के साथ इस चीज के बारे में बात करी जाती है तो वो कहते हैं कि मूवीज वही दिखा रही है जो हमें हमारी जिंदगी में दिखता है। अब हमारी जिंदगी में एक लड़की को थप्पड़ मारना कॉमन है, इसी वजह से ये मूवीज में दिखाया जा रहा है। जैसे अर्जुन रेड्डी के डायरेक्टर ने कहा कि अर्जुन का प्रीति को एक थप्पड़ मारना एक तरीका है प्यार दिखाने का।
Expressing his love for her. I have never, honestly, I can't think of anyone I ever know has slapped their spouse. I can't even fathom it. Like, my parents had a loving marriage where they just discussed everything. They just spoke to each other. They had conversation. My father never needed to raise his hand. My mother never needed to raise her gun since she was in law enforcement. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, there was never a situation like that. There is no need for that kind of thing. There's no need. Never. Like, if you married a Karen, maybe you would be pushed to that point. But other than that, I can never fathom it. I can never fathom it. Yeah, RRR, Bahubali, Telugu. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, there's always good and bad. Like, I hate it when it's just like, oh, they're all great. They're all great. They're all great.
But you're slapping each other, and I don't see anything there. So I feel this woman were talking about this. I feel that they were never in love.
Ooh. Clearly that person has no clue. No clue. He deserves to be alone. I'm going to say it. He deserves to be alone.
पर लोगों की प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है कि हम ऐसी चीजें दिखा रहे हैं मूवीज में, बल्कि लोगों की प्रॉब्लम है कि इन चीजों को किस तरीके से दिखाया जाता है। अब मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ इस चीज का।
Bollywood takes credit for good Telugu movies. Well, honestly, the thing is, nobody around the world knows about Tollywood or Mollywood or any of the others. They just know about Bollywood. So when a film goes out to the rest of the world and it has Indian actors, just like me, the first time I saw KGF, I was like, oh, Bollywood. I had no clue. I had no clue there were other industries because Hollywood is Hollywood. And then the industries in it are like Disney, Universal, WB, Netflix. That's all the industries in the Hollywood sphere. Of course, Netflix is more everywhere now. But at the same time, in India, Bollywood and Tollywood, Collywood are all basically what is it? They're like the industries itself. They're not like Hollywood. They are like Disney or Warner Brothers, or that's how you have to look at it. But everyone thinks, oh, Bollywood, that's where all the movies from India are made. Just like Hollywood, that's where all the movies in the United States are made. You see. So Bollywood gets the credit because the rest of the world isn't aware.
ये है एक तेलुगु मूवी आई स्मार्ट शंकर। इस मूवी में मेन किरदार एक महिला को स्टॉक करता है और ऑब्जेक्टिफाई करता है। एक रात वो उस लड़की के पीछे भागता है और जबरदस्ती उसके घर के अंदर घुस जाता है। फिर वो दोनों हाथों से उसको पकड़ता है और करने की धमकी देता है। लड़की पुलिस को बुलाती है, पर जब तक पुलिस आती है उसने अपना मन बदल दिया होता है और वो उस लड़के के साथ प्यार करने लग जाती है।
पुलिस
సార్ ఈ నాకు నచ్చిండు మీరు వెళ్ళిపోండి
अब इस पूरे सीन के बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक पर नजर डालिए। बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक पर फोकस करोगे तो आपको लगेगा कि ये एक बहुत लाइट पर मजेदार सीन है, जबकि ये सीन एक्चुअली बहुत डिस्टर्बिंग है। अब इस चीज का एक दूसरा एग्जांपल लीजिए। ये है मलयालम मूवी अनयम रसूलम। इस मूवी में रसूल एना को स्टॉक करता है बोट से लेकर उसके घर तक। इस सीन को मजाकिया रूप में नहीं बल्कि एक डिस्टर्बिंग तरीके से ही दिखाया जा रहा है।
सोफी
अब इस चीज का पॉइंट ये नहीं है कि मलयालम मूवीज तेलुगु मूवी से बेटर है, बल्कि ये दोनों उदाहरण हमें दिखाते हैं कि एक स्टॉकिंग का सीन एक मूवी में कैसे हल्के रूप में दिखाया जाता है, जबकि दूसरी
You have to make it eerie. You have to make it uncomfortable. Yes, you can have the person get together with their stalker. The thing is, it shouldn't be shot in a way that portrays it as a funny thing or a good thing. You have to make it weird. You have to. Because let's be honest, there are some guys out there that don't know how to talk to women, right? That don't know how, have never actually been in a situation to do it, to really justify it. That they will be weird. They will be weird. Let's be honest. Let's absolutely be honest. They are completely weird. And then the girl finally gets to know them. And then they'll joke about with how they felt about them the first time. Perfectly normal. But turning the stalker scene into a comedic beat, trying to play with it. No, never.
मूवी में एक डिस्टर्बिंग तरीके से दिखाया जाता है जिसका असर डायरेक्टली व्यूअर पर पड़ता है। अगर कोई नौजवान लड़का अर्जुन रेड्डी के इस सीन को देखेगा तो उनको लगेगा कि इस चीज में प्रॉब्लम क्या है। म्यूजिक भी बहुत चिल है और लड़की धमकी देने के बाद मान जाती है, पर तेलुगु मूवीज में अभी यही प्रॉब्लम है कि ऐसे बिहेवियर को इस तरीके से दिखाया जाता है कि इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम है नहीं। और प्रॉब्लम यह है कि ऐसी मूवीज करोड़ों पैसे कमाती है बॉक्स ऑफिस पर, और आज तेलुगु इंडस्ट्री एक मेजर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटर
Why was his gun pulling the trigger for no reason?
है इंडियन मूवीज की फाइनेंशियल सक्सेस के पीछे। आज इंडियन मूवी इंडस्ट्री इंक्लूडिंग तेलुगु इंडस्ट्री 90,000 करोड़ की इंडस्ट्री है। और अगर आप फिल्म्स के बिजनेस के बारे में और जानना चाहते हैं तो मैं आपको रेकमेंड करूंगा ये ऑडियो बुक लाइट्स कैमरा एक्शन, जिससे आप ये चीज सीख सकते हैं। ये ऑडियो बुक बताती है कि कैसे इंडियन मूवी इंडस्ट्री इतनी बड़ी कैसे हुई, क्योंकि इस चीज को होने के लिए करीब 126 साल
Finish
लगे।
link in
इसके
the
अलावा
description.
कई और bestsellers
I can't
मिलेंगे
get
जिनको आप सोने से
that. If
पहले
we
या
make
फिर
good
drive करते हुए
movies,
सुन
North
सकते हैं।
people
उनके
will
notes
say
feature
it's
को
Indian
use करके आप
cinema.
अपने notes
I
बना
am
सकते
so
हैं।
proud,
उनके
but
पास
if
original
we
content भी
have
है और
make
उनका
bad
annual
movies,
plan
they'll say it's
99
cheap South
rupees
movie.
है। यानी कि हर दिन की cost
Basically,
करीब 10
yeah,
रुपए है। और
you
आपको
always
50%
just blame the other
discount मिल सकता है
person.
अगर आप
You always
50%
blame the
coupon
other
code
person.
use करोगे तो डाउनलोड कीजिए, लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में। टॉलीवुड में दूसरी प्रॉब्लम है
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. It's just like it's basically talking about movies. Are there any Hollywood movies like these? Some people have problem with Tom Cruise following the girl in a bathroom in Top Gun. It's been a while since I've seen Top Gun, and yeah, that was weird. That was weird, but they had like the looking at each other, because back in the day in the early 90s or 80s even, they had those scenes where it was like they would gaze upon each other. So it's not entirely stalking, because it's like that. The girl looks at the guy and kind of sees if he's gonna. It's weird. It's really weird looking back at it. But it was that phase where it's like the girl's aware. They make sure the audience knows the girl's aware, and the guy follows her, and the girl keeps checking back to see, are you gonna pursue me? Are you gonna make it worth my while? Are you gonna prove yourself to me? That's how it was. The beat carried out. That's how the beat carried her out. Not like, get away from me, don't follow me, and then he's constantly chasing him and turning it into a complete joke. So there are things like that. There are bad films out of Hollywood, absolutely.
जिस तरीके से लड़कियों को दिखाया जाता है। अब इसमें 3 मुद्दे हैं। पहला मुद्दा है कि लड़कियों को ऐसे दिखाया जाता है जहां मानो उनके पास कुछ चॉइस है ही नहीं और वो खुद की डिसीजंस भी नहीं ले सकती। जैसे पुष्पा मूवी में मानो लड़कियां बस
Couldn't
वही
even
करती हैं
finish
जो
that
लड़के
movie.
कहते हैं। जैसे जब हीरो एक लड़की को किस करने की कोशिश करता है, ये दिखाया जाता है कि वो लड़की ये नहीं करना चाहती, पर ऐसे भी दिखाया जाता है कि वो इस चीज को सीक्रेटली पसंद करती हैं। बस अकेली लड़की जिसको इस मूवी में एक डिफरेंट तरीके से दिखाया जाता है वो है दक्षिणी।
కొండారెడ్డి మా మీద నమ్మకం లేకుండానే సరుకు ఈ నేరుగా ఈడి దాకా తోలుకొచ్చినావా ఏమే
पर उनका भी ज्यादा स्क्रीन टाइम नहीं था। पुष्पा की माँ का बस अकेला यही रोल दिखाया जाता है जहाँ वो एक रोती हुई विधवा हैं और अपने बेटे पर पूरी तरह निर्भर हैं। उनको शर्मिंदा किया जाता है और कई नाम बुलाए जाते हैं अपने एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल अफेयर की वजह से।
ఆయన 4 దినాలు వాళ్ళ ఇంటికాడికి పోయినంత మాత్రాన మా ఇంటి పేరు
In Telugu states, girls are not that encouraged to get into movies. I can believe it, especially if women are demeaned to this extent, especially if it's more commonplace. Like I also there has to be a market for this type of film, like Maharaj, amazing film. I could never rewatch that film again, but absolutely amazing. Like there's a market for that kind of revenge. To absolutely heinously disgusting but perfectly done film. But it balances itself out. It balances itself out. Even with like a bit of humor in there, it was able to balance itself out. Not where each person is demeaned continuously. Oh, the woman's there, you can slap them or whatever. Oh, we're going to have this chase sequence and put a funny song. No, when something disgusting is going on, guess what? There is eerie, dark music going on. Or no music at all. Like they make all the audio fade because it just makes the tone so weird. So weird.
అయిపోతాయింది
अर्जुन रेड्डी में प्रीति शायद ही कोई डिसीजन लेती है अपनी जिंदगी के बारे में, ना वो इतना बात करती है। और
Well, in general, film, like it's not just the Telugu states. In film in general, males are the predominant audience. That's just fact. That is just fact. Which is why you need to be incredibly careful when you create cinema. Because if you try to make something that's dark, comedic, you have to go about it a certain kind of way. Really a certain kind of way. You can't have this kind of stuff done. You have to be careful with it. Slapping a woman and having a cheery song, no. No, unless you're making a complete like Three Stooges type of dynamic where he slaps the woman, something funny happens, and then a bucket falls on his head. Completely different. Completely different. But yeah, just
पहले सीन के बाद सब लोग ये भी भूल जाते हैं कि वो एक मेडिसिन की स्टूडेंट है। उन मूवीज में भी जो फीमेल सेंट्रिक है, जैसे वकील साहब, उधर एक मेल किरदार ही मूवी का सेंट्रल किरदार दिखाया जाता है। और अगर हम मेन स्ट्रीम कमर्शियल तेलुगु मूवीज के बारे में बात करें तो कई बार सेंसिटिव चीजें जैसे भी मजाक
Yep.
बनाया जाता है,
బలవంతం చేసినా బాబు మాకు నచ్చాడు ఆ అబ్బాయి చేత్తోనే తాళి కట్టిస్తాం
या फिर इस चीज को यूज किया जाता है एक हीरो का बढ़ावा देने के लिए। अब आगे बढ़ने से पहले अगर आपको हमारा वीडियो अच्छा लगा प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को ताकि हम ग्रो कर सकें। दूसरा मुद्दा है कि किस तरीके से तेलुगु हीरोइंस की सेक्सुअलाइजेशन करी जाती है इन मूवीज में। जैसे ये है के राघवेंद्र राव, तेलुगु
What?
सिनेमा में
what was that? What was that? I like watching that. This is like, what the heck is this? And then I hear my wife laughing in the background. It's like, what the heck was that? Seriously, that was stupid. It was so freaking stupid. What purpose did that serve? It is normal in Telugu movies for 50 years, so no Telugu woman takes offense from it at all that. Yeah, exactly. That's an issue. That's a massive issue. You can't encourage that kind of stuff. That stuff needs to be squashed and called out when it's become normalized. Yeah, he showed old movies that are 30 years old. Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course.
एक
It's
जाने
very
माने
funny.
director
Yeah, well, my wife was laughing at it. It's so stupid. I'm just like, what the heck is
ने
this?
कई पॉपुलर एक्ट्रेसेस को लॉन्च किया है और उनकी मूवीज में एक सिग्नेचर मूव है हीरोइंस को सेक्सुअलाइज करना, कई फल और फूल उनके नेवल पर फेंकने के जरिए।
मेरे पे फेंक के मारा एक कोकोनट I don't know what is so sensuous about a coconut hitting my middle.
నోట్లో యాపిల్ పడినప్పుడు గ్రావిటీ కనిపెట్టాడు నేను ఎక్కడ పడాలో కనిపెట్టాను
और ऐसी ही सेक्सुअलाइजेशन हम कई मूवीज में देख सकते हैं, जैसे आला वैकुंठपुरम लो। इस मूवी में मेल किरदार अपनी बॉस के साथ प्यार करने लग जाता है क्योंकि वो उनके पैर पसंद करता है। हर टाइम जब पूजा हेगड़े स्क्रीन
These are all innuendos for what they cannot show us, show on screen like West. I'm also against them showing this kind of stuff on screen. I prefer back in the day where how they symbolized the two like a married couple was going to get together. Right before the scene dies, they push the beds together and then fade to black. And then it's the next morning. It was that simple, and everyone knew exactly what was going on. You didn't need to show us any of this nonsense that belongs behind closed doors. Everybody already knew. Everybody already knew. Oh, old movies, but there are new movies as well with naval obsession. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was a new movie. There you go. Yeah, a lot of stuff is just insane. Yeah, the leg fetish. It's a real thing. It absolutely is a real thing.
पर आती हैं, डायरेक्टर ये इंश्योर करता है कि ऑडियंस देखे कि कैसे हीरो एक्ट्रेस के पैरों पर नजर डाल रहा है। अब इन दोनों मुद्दों से रिलेटेड है तीसरा मुद्दा, वो है स्क्रीन टाइम का, कि लड़कियों को मूवीज में बहुत कम स्क्रीन टाइम ही दिया जाता है। अब अगर लड़कियों को इस तरीके से दिखाया जाता है कि उनको हीरो ही बचा सकता है या फिर उनको सेक्सुअलाइज किया जाता है तो
Basic instinct, exactly. I mean, you know they shot it for that purpose, but it's ridiculous. I hate it. I'll never watch that film for that reason. I mean, you understand it's a crude film done for that purpose, but it's like the whole immaturity done to the extreme to try and just bait people.
नेचुरली उनको इतना स्क्रीन टाइम देने की जरूरत नहीं है। इसी वजह से चाहे विजय देवरकोंडा को हर सीन में दिखाया जाए, शालिनी पांडे के किरदार को कुछ ही सेकंड्स के लिए ही दिखाया जाता है। सिचुएशन इतनी खराब है कि अगर आप मूवी से गाने हटा दोगे तो लड़कियों का स्क्रीन टाइम एक 2.5 घंटे की मूवी में शायद बस आधे घंटे का ही हो। अब इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं है कि हर मूवी तेलुगु इंडस्ट्री में एकदम बेकार है। कई तेलुगु मूवीज ऐसी हैं जो बहुत रिस्पॉन्सिबली लड़कियों को दिखाती हैं, जैसे शेखर कमुल्ला की मूवीज, चाहे वो आनंद हो या फिर गोदावरी।
అమ్మా ఫస్ట్ ఆయన నాకు సారీ చెప్పను అనవసరంగా అరిచారు నిన్న ఆయన నా ప్యాంట్ షర్ట్లు ఏం చేశాయండి
या फिर अरुंधति, जहाँ दिखाया जाता है कि कैसे अनुष्का शेट्टी एक जादूगर को मारती हैं। इसके अलावा अरुंधति मूवी में भी फीमेल कैरेक्टर को बहुत रिस्पॉन्सिबली दिखाया जाता है। पर अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो तेलुगु मूवीज जो सबसे ज्यादा पॉपुलर हुई हैं उनमें लड़कियां या तो सेक्सुअलाइज्ड है या फिर हीरो पर हर चीज के लिए निर्भर है। तो सवाल ये है कि ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स है क्यों तेलुगु इंडस्ट्री में? इसके पीछे 3 कारण। पहला है बिजनेस।
our business is our business none of your business
ये है नंदिनी रेड्डी, जो एक बहुत सक्सेसफुल
Yeah, it's primarily male dominated. That's basically it.
फिल्म मेकर है टॉलीवुड में। जब उनसे पूछा गया कि तेलुगु मूवीज में लड़कियों को ऐसे क्यों दिखाया जाता है, वो कहती कि इस चीज के लिए बस एक चीज रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, बिजनेस। क्योंकि आधे से ज्यादा तेलुगु सिनेमा की ऑडियंस लड़के हैं जिनकी उम्र 35 साल से कम है। अब जब तक लड़कियां इन मूवीज की ऑडियंस नहीं होंगी, उसका मतलब है कि मूवीज भी इन लड़कों को ध्यान करते हुए ही लिखी जाएंगी। वो कहती हैं कि लड़कियों को इस तरीके
Call
से
the police.
दिखाना कोई नई चीज नहीं है और ये कई और इंडस्ट्रीज में हम देख सकते हैं और प्रॉब्लम यह है कि यंग लड़के अर्जुन रेड्डी और शंकर जैसे कैरेक्टर्स से ही रिलेट करते हैं इसी वजह से तेलुगु फिल्म राइटर्स भी ऐसे ही हीरोज बनाते हैं अपनी मूवीज में पर होपफुली अरुंधति जैसी मूवीज की सक्सेस ये दिखाती है कि एक ऐसी भी ऑडियंस है जिसको दूसरी तरीके के किरदार चाहिए दूसरी एक्सप्लेनेशन शायद ये है कि हमारे समाज में प्रॉब्लम है इसी वजह से हमारी मूवीज में भी प्रॉब्लम है और जब तक हमारा समाज ठीक नहीं होगा हम ये भी नहीं उम्मीद लगा सकते कि हमारी मूवी चेंज हो जाएंगी जैसे कई फिल्म मेकर्स और एक्टर्स बहुत रेगुलरली लड़कियों के खिलाफ कमेंट्स करते हैं जैसे प्रोड्यूसर चलपति राव ने एक बार कमेंट किया था कि लड़कियां सेक्स के लिए बहुत काम आती हैं
అమ్మాయిలు హానికరం కాదు కానీ పక్కలకు పనికొస్తారు
फिर एक्टर और एमएलए नंदमूरी बालाकृष्णन ने एक बार ये कहा था
ఊరుకుంటారు మా ఫ్యాన్స్ వెళ్ళి ముద్దలు పెట్టారు కడుపుని చేసేయాలంతే
फिर अली जो एक पॉपुलर कॉमिक है तेलुगु इंडस्ट्री में एक बार ये कहा था
అనుష్క అద్భుతమైన తొడలో అనుష్క ఎలా ఉంటదంటే వేడి వేడి జిలేబీ వేస్తుంటే ఎవరికైనా తినాలనిపిస్తుంది అలా ఉంటది అనుష్క
तो जब तक एक्टर्स डायरेक्टर्स और प्रोड्यूसर्स ऐसे सोचेंगे तो ऑब्वियस
Yeah. I mean, all you have to do is how would you feel if a gay man was saying that about you? That's all you have to do. Turn it around to you being feasted upon. How would you feel when someone you don't find attractive, or not even a gay man, an overweight fat hog was saying that towards you? How would you feel? And it's that simple. It's that simple. Or an old overweight fat hog was saying that towards you. And it completely changes the dynamic when you hear those things, when you absolutely hear those things. If a character shows too dependent on men, that isn't wrong. Always that depends on story. Exactly. It's not always a one for one. It isn't. If the character's male dominated, it should be a male dominated franchise. Women really serve no purpose if it's like an action film, unless the action hero is a female, then it would be weird if it was primarily men in there. But if it's a romance, you would think it would primarily be the women, unless you're trying to cater more towards a gay audience, then you primarily show the men in that one. It's weird. The pendulum to the other side, that every female actor should have strong female character, is also wrong. Exactly. There is no one for one. Because if everyone in every film had all their backstories completely done in the same amount of screen time, we'd end up with films that are years long. Because, oh, you need to find out the mother's story and her strong characteristics. Oh, you need to find out the father's. Oh, you need to find out the daughter's. Oh, you need to find out the romantic interest. Oh, you need to find out the romantic interest's best friends and his story. It just gets too chaotic. Absolutely chaotic. What I'm against is like normalizing the abuse of women unless it's like done for like not even comedic reason. I'm just not a fan of it. Unless it's like a slapstick comedy where the person gets hit back in turn. Or like the stalking of women. Like you can't to make that funny. That's not funny. There are people in real life who suffer through that. Both men and women who have to deal with that kind of stuff on a daily basis. And it is not, should never be normalized. Should never be normalized. Women actresses in these movies are also responsible. Yeah, but they get paid. They're paid to do that. And that, like again, if yeah. Well, if I am asked to sponsor something, like a lot of people who are rich and wealthy on YouTube sponsor a meme coin and then rug pull. They get paid a ton of money up front, and their fans get scammed out of a lot of money, and the scammers get a ton of money, and they never, or they just say a simple apology. Why do they do it when they know it's a scam? Because they're gonna get a ton of money. So you can't really. They want money. The actresses in the films want money. They're gonna do whatever they can to get that money and to get their name out there. So hopefully, eventually, they can have a say. Eventually, less they can stop showing them as sex object. Yeah, that's like the least they could do. The least they can do, or at least have the scenes done in a proper way. Where it's not glorified. Essaying a woman isn't glorified, which you see a lot in Indian cinema. It gets glorified way too much. Or abusing a woman isn't glorified. Or stalking a woman isn't glorified. That stuff is absolutely barbaric, and it should never be glorified. It should be seen as eerie and disgusting. It should be. It should be. Casteism? Well, I guess they're hiring people that they can fit the role. In Telugu states, our people are blind fans and they're a favorite hero. Yeah. Like I was saying, I hate that hero worship of actors. Like, I'm so glad that the Hollywood actors got on social media because everyone realized how stupid they are. How stupid they are and so disconnected from the real world. That people watch movies to see the characters come to life, not the actors play a character, which is different in a lot of Indian cinema. People go to the cinemas to see the actor play a character, not to see a character come to life. There is a huge difference there.
मूवीज भी तो ऐसी ही बनेंगी। फिर आखिरी प्रॉब्लम है कि कई तेलुगु एक्टर्स अपने रोल्स चेंज नहीं करना चाहते। एक इंटरव्यू में नागार्जुना ने कहा था कि तेलुगु फैंस दुनिया के सबसे बेस्ट फैंस हैं। उन्होंने इन फैंस को इंग्लैंड के फुटबॉल फैन से कंपेयर किया। वो कहते हैं कि तेलुगु मेल एक्टर्स के फैंस एक्टर की हर चीज को फॉलो करते हैं। इसी वजह से जब एक एक्टर एक ऐसा कैरेक्टर प्ले करता है जिसको फैंस
Yeah, it's funny. There's so much hate I get from like when I make fun of like an actor I don't really care for. There's so much hate I get from like the south of India primarily when I'm just like I don't really care for Vijay. I mean, the only actor I really cared for Telepathy Vijay was Leo. That was it. And that was a remake of an American film. That was the only time I cared for him in a movie. The others I was just like, Master, I didn't really care for. The Tipati or whatever it was, where he plays a cop, I didn't care for. There were so many films I watched with him, I'm just like, I don't care for it. Yeah, just like the actor who played in Robot, in Jailer. Don't care for him. I really don't. And I get so much hate for it. So much hate. P? Okay.
बहुत पसंद करते हैं एक्टर्स पर दबाव बढ़ जाता है उसी तरीके के रोल्स प्ले करने का। इसी वजह से
American Sign Language. No, this is I. This is I-L-U.
एक्टर्स नए रोल्स नहीं लेते और सिमिलर चीजें करते हैं। तो अगर चिरंजीवी ऐसा गाना करते हैं जहां लिरिक्स टॉकिंग को बढ़ावा देते हैं।
Yeah, there's a difference. It's two completely different languages.
चांस है कि वो अपनी अगली मूवीज में भी ऐसा सॉन्ग्स करेंगे क्योंकि उनके फैंस यही चाहते हैं। अब ये जरूर हो सकता है कि कुछ फैंस ऐसी चीजें पसंद करते हैं, पर गोदावरी और अरुंधति मूवी से हमने ये देखा है कि हर फैन एक तरीके का नहीं है। और हमें ये भी पता है कि फैंस का टेस्ट बदलता है। इसी वजह से तेलुगु मूवीज चेंज होते हैं या फिर नहीं, ये इस चीज पर निर्भर है कि एक्टर्स और डायरेक्टर्स अपनी जिम्मेदारी कितनी निभाना चाहते हैं। शायद कुछ लोग ये मानते हो कि हमारी जिम्मेदारी है ऑडियंस को वो देना जो ऑडियंस चाहती है, चाहे वो सेक्सिस्ट सीन्स हो या फिर सेक्सुअलाइज्ड गाने। वहीं दूसरी ओर कुछ लोग ये मान सकते हैं कि हमारी जिम्मेदारी है ऑडियंस को वो चीज दिखाना जो सही है, और होपफुली उस चीज से हम कुछ चेंज ला सके। पर वो चेंज बस एक चीज पर निर्भर करता है, वो है ऑडियंस के पैसे। जहाँ ऑडियंस के पैसे जाएंगे वहाँ तेलुगु फिल्म इंडस्ट्री जाएगी। अगर आप इधर तक आ गए और आपको ये वीडियो एजुकेशनल लगा तो प्लीज हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए ताकि हम ग्रो कर सकें। और अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो आपको ये वीडियो भी अच्छा लगेगा जहाँ हम बात करते हैं।
Yeah, but very informative. Different perspective from the one I watched the other day. Completely different perspective, and I do like that. It's because some people will always praise one thing over another when there's always good and bad. You just have to praise the good and make sure people understand what is bad. Like that Toxic film is like people are going, oh, you're upset because it's toxic. It's not toxic, it's immature. There's a difference between immaturity and toxic. There absolutely is. The problem is a lot of people don't view it that way. They look at it and go like, well, this gots to be something. Like, no, that's not the case. That is absolutely not the case. But it was enjoyable to watch. It was enjoyable. I have no problem with respectful sexualization. Not every movie can be same art house, bland art house cinema. Well, yeah. Mostly general category leaves India due to reservations to other castes. I mean, I'm not entirely sure about that. But yeah, if you're wanting like an action film like John Wick, I mean, you're going to have an action film like John Wick. You're going to have nothing but males predominantly there. Maybe, like, it's India, let's be honest. There might be a few females, like a simple romance, but... which is always fun, but it's not.
You guys got a video? So bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, like that.